Hello, everyone. This is the regular monthly meeting of the Southwick Agricultural Commission. It is Wednesday, November 9th. We do have a quorum, myself, Bert Hansen, Sage Fury, Dan Cook, and on Zoom, Tammy Sayak Vasilon. So we are able to do some business. I know a couple of people who couldn't come, and a couple of people aren't here, and I don't know why. But anyway, Jean, do you know of any communications, mail or anything? Okay.
The only thing I got was that brochure
Yeah, okay.
in the mail. That was it.
I guess while we're talking about mail, we should mention that. I haven't read this yet, but it's a brochure from the Hampden County Improvement League. And they're located in Westfield. And they support agriculture, 4-H, and education, and making Hampden County a better place to live. So we're going to look into this. We've talked about possibly having guest speakers at our meeting, so they might be a good choice. Just got this, so I don't know really anything about them yet. But we can, so then we can move on to the minutes of last meeting, October 12th, which you guys should have. Tammy, do you have those?
I looked at them on the email.
Yeah. Good. Any comments or questions?
Well, the one with Granby, Connecticut Open Farm Day at the bottom, it should be say Ultimate Theory. Was another word in here. Well, it was off, but it might have gotten corrected since the last I looked.
Oh, Commissioner, okay. Yeah, Jean, at the top of page 2, end of the first paragraph, it says Commissioner Fury, and he's an alternate.
It should be alternate too.
I show up too much.
Okay, so someone like to make a motion to approve the minutes as amended? Oh, another one?
Wait, yeah, Ag Magazine says Commissioner Fury again.
Okay, toward the bottom of page 2, Jean, Ag
Okay.
Magazine.
There was a word that must have been corrected because I don't see it anymore.
Yeah, I corrected a couple things.
Yeah, I caught it.
Okay,
That's it.
okay. Tammy, did you have any corrections when you looked at them? No? Okay. Yes, Dan, you're still reading? Yeah, sorry. Okay, sorry. No, it's okay if you. Okay, so anybody want to make a motion to approve the minutes as amended? Sage, okay,
Tammy seconds.
1 second, okay. And you know what, other commissions, I've realized, the people who make the motion and who second it don't vote, which kind of makes sense, right? So we'll just, so for our roll call, just be me, Bert Hansen, aye, and Dan Cook. Aye. Okay. Before we get to the, excuse me, rest of the agenda, we actually had some guests here, and there are things later on the agenda that will apply to the guests, and I'd like to get your input. Oh, and I should say too, at select board meetings and other, there's a public comment section of the meeting, and then other than that, the public can't really comment. We don't do it that way. We encourage people to ask questions or comment, in whatever topic they're interested in. So there you go. Thanks. Oh, this is interesting. All right. So because we have some guests and they're all actually interested in joining the commission, which you can see we have openings anyway, but the fact that barely have a quorum, is, it's not a good thing, so some new members, probably would be welcome anyway. Just a little bit of a background. I gave you guys some packets of information. One was a page from the town meeting back in January 2006. Not a very great copy, but that's when the Agricultural Commission was formed by a special town meeting. We have 7 commissioners and 5 alternates. Currently, there's 1 commissioner opening, and we have 3 alternates, so there's 3 openings, off the bat, so to speak. We have historically, from what I've been on the commission for 5-6 years, I guess now, and historically, as far as I know, it was this community garden at the Sofinowski property, and there's a tractor rally that we used to have in the spring, which kind of died when the pandemic hit. And as far as and then Dennis Clark at that time was the conservation coordinator for town, and he was very involved with the farmers and 61A and 61B designations, agricultural preservation restrictions, that kind of thing. But aside from that and the tractor rally and the community garden, there wasn't, I don't think there was a lot going on. Over the past couple of years, we're trying to do more of our mission, which is actually at the bottom, or our purpose, which is at the bottom of the agenda, to encourage the pursuit of agriculture, promote agriculture-based economic opportunities, protect farmlands, and allow agricultural uses and related activities to function with minimal conflict with abutters and town agencies. And you all may know we are a right to farm community, and I gave you a flyer about that. And also gave you our farm brochure, which we created recently. And these are just small steps, but things that we're doing to get the word out more, do more advocating, and do more to support our farmers and agriculture. So getting the word out. And part of that, as Jessica and Lucas know, the Master Plan Advisory Committee results so far with the survey and the visioning sessions. I mean, agriculture is like a big priority for a lot of people. So I think, and I actually hope that we're going to get busier. So as I mentioned, we have 7 commissioners and 5 alternates. I'd love to see 12 people here every single time. Providing input and doing some of the things that that need to be done. And I thought, just briefly, just kind of go around the room and just say who we are and what our connection or interest in agriculture is. I'll start so you can be thinking about it. So I'm Bert Hansen. My connection to agriculture is very coincidental. I lived next door to the Sofinowski property and the community garden, so I was interested in that. In 2017, I went through the local Master Gardener training program, which is a pretty intense 6-month program to become a Master Gardener. So that's how I got a lot more interested in soil and and all that sort of thing. Gardening and agriculture are very different things, but that's how I got interested and found myself on the commission. And then a few years ago, actually, my New Year's resolution was to not become chair of the Agricultural Commission. And here I am. So through so it's been very coincidental. But I think one thing aside from that that's important is, we want farmers on the commission, obviously, and farmers' input, but farmers don't have time to go to meetings, and maybe you don't have time to go down to town hall and take care of administrative stuff down there. I can, I've done a lot of that, so. So I just want to put that out there. Sage, how about you? Is Sage Fury? Same?
Yep, Sage Fury alternate, and my interest was pretty much. I like to garden, not a master gardener, but I like to garden. And I've noticed that especially in town, we don't have a lot of a presence in agriculture. We don't have a lot of interest yet generated. I want to try and involve that. I want to try to get it out further and get it to our kids before we lose all of our farmers and have no handout knowledge. I want to try and boost our web presence, social media. And I also want to try and help fill the gaps in ideas to get new interest and generate new connections to the communities, not just ours, but branch out and reach out to our other towns and cities next to us to try and get a more of a global effect going on. Because it's our world. It's literally necessity to live is to get our agricultural system under control and in our hands and develop. So I just want to make sure I do my part and get that going, that message out there.
Dan, you have a farm.
I'm Dan Cook, Commissioner. I grew up on a dairy farm. I moved here back in 1977. And there was probably 5 or 6 dairy farms here, and now there's none. And that's one of the reasons why I joined the Agricultural Commission. Do my part trying to save some of the land, keep it agricultural. Use the farms for some kind of agricultural thing. And I got a little 6-acre farm and really kind of help with the commission.
Yeah, great. I don't think I realized your farm was 6 acres.
Yep, 6.5.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you qualify for some of these programs, so we'll talk about that. And Jean's sort of our fill-in secretary, but you have just for everybody's information, you have a strong connection with the farming community, right?
My great grandfather came to Southwick and the family's been in farming ever since. And it's a 200+ acre farm. That was dairy at one point, but now it's just hay.
Mhm.
It's at the end of the road. So the family's been in the business for generations.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably the last dairy farm standing.
They no longer produce milk.
No, I know, but I think they're the last one that was standing.
They were.
No.
Yeah. And my father said, out of all the years he's been farming, his father before him, the only year they made money was the year that they didn't pay any bills. So it's not very lucrative, or hasn't been proven to be lucrative.
I heard a joke a bunch of years ago, 2 farmers talking about whether, they were playing the lottery. And one said, well, what if you win the $1 million, what are you gonna do? He said, I'll keep farming till it runs out.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jessica.
I'm Jessica Parker. I have a few different reasons for interest in this commission. First and foremost, my husband and I do have a tobacco farm in town. It's our 6th year growing, and my husband works tobacco. He was 15. He has lived in Southwick his whole life. I'm from Westfield, but have lived here the past 10 years. So of course that. And I also am president of a nonprofit equine club out of Westfield, so the Westfield Riding Club. We have a small parcel of land, but we do a couple of open horse shows a year, some fundraising, and also trying to keep that club alive as well, because we have property and it takes a lot of maintenance, as you guys know, and there's no volunteers and those types of things. So I really just wanted to keep things going. And we do like foster 4-H clubs and stuff like that, and volunteering and all of that youth combined. I'm also vice chair of the master plan advisory committee. and I'm one of the residents. When that opportunity came open, I thought, I've lived in Southwick for this long, and we're gonna be in Southwick probably forever, so it's important, it's time to get involved, and that led me here.
Just a fun fact, Master Plan Advisory Committee has our 1-year anniversary
Yes.
coming up
Right
this month.
around.
Before Angie and Lucas, Tammy, I wanted to go around the table first, and you're not at the table, but since you are a commissioner, you wanna tell us about your connection?
Sure, quite all right. Tammy Sayak Basalon, and I think I've been on the commission 3 years now. With COVID, I've lost track of a lot of things. I have a homestead farm that me and my husband kind of oversee and run, and then we have an ag-related popcorn business here in town that we grow the kernels and sell them at Blossoming Acres.
And what's that called?
Pop goes the wick.
Nice.
Right, okay, good. Yeah, 3 years, I think so. Have to check.
Yeah, because I think my thing's up in June. And my husband actually is the one that wanted to just start growing popcorn because he's very into history. And I guess somewhere in the 1800s, there was someone who grew and sold popcorn who lived on Vining Hill. And he just wanted to learn how it was. And then we went into business. Very small business, but we enjoy it.
Who knew? Okay, good, thank you. Angie?
I'm Angelina Simone. Most people call me Angie. I grew up on a farm, a dairy farm, Feeding Hills. Lived there for about 20 years, and then me and my husband moved to Southwick. And just very passionate about preserving farms. A lot of farms I've seen become developments now, housing developments, so
Mhm.
like to preserve as much farmland as we can. And also, I'm a teacher, so I know education is a big thing, so I'd like to help out with educating people about farmland.
Awesome. I didn't know you were a teacher. Okay, great. Here in town,
No, in Springfield.
Springfield. Okay, and Lucas.
Hi, my name is Lucas Karen, and while I wouldn't say I have any like direct connection to agricultural stuff, I'm the next generation, and you might as well just put it out there. And I think it's really important that we like keep this going. I mean, we're an agricultural committee, and not committee, community, excuse me.
Mhm.
And yet there's like nothing for us. Like I go to the school, there's nothing for me to like learn about agricultural stuff in our town. And that's not good. I think we need to keep this community, this history alive. And we need to teach our children, the next generation, all about it. And that means, people like me getting involved to ensure that, down in our schools, we can get this stuff down there. So I think being here is just crucial, that first step.
Awesome, yep. Lucas and Dan and I have talked a little bit about potentially having a agriculture club or a farm club at the high school, because this blew me away that there's no agriculture related curriculum in our schools. So we're gonna look into that and look into potentially creating a youth seat on this commission as part of all that. So okay, thanks everyone. Just wanted to let everybody get to know each other a little bit. What the way the process works, you probably know. If you are interested in joining the commission, to send an email to the select board and say that you're interested and why, and then they would at one of their meetings they would interview you and then vote, yay or nay. We have a little bit of shuffling to do here. I've been wanting to get Sage into full commissioner status, and one of the differences there is that the reason Sage can vote tonight is because some of the commissioners are not here and he's an alternate. So, and I know, I think there are a couple of commissioners who would rather be in that sort of alternate status, and we do have one opening for a commissioner anyway, so, you know, hopefully we'll see you each month.
The one note I have on that though is make sure you hand in a physical form to the select board when you apply, if you do apply. Because it unfortunately, digital wise, gets lost. I've unfortunately felt that one. So,
Yeah,
just hand it physically.
yeah. Okay. So, okay, now to our regular agenda items. Sage mentioned he's working on a new webpage for ag. I don't know if you've had a chance to, okay,
I'm taking a time off to do that exact thing.
really?
Yeah, I have to apply for it, but
Yeah.
the new jobs just hasn't let me get time.
Yeah, oh, understood.
But yeah, I'm definitely gonna get on that very shortly.
Okay. The farm parade was held October 22nd. Was a lot of fun. It was a beautiful day. I don't know if any or all of you were there, but it was really pretty cool. There were quite a few entries.
I did see the video. It looked
Yeah,
neat.
yeah. One guy had a tractor, he was towing a chicken coop.
Just off them on the street.
The Civic Fund who put it together had a float, the high school band marched.
And Bert drove by me and didn't wave hi back.
Yeah. And, oh, and there was one float, a paving company. And I thought, whoa, wait a minute. That doesn't seem quite right for the farm parade, but you know, they're there.
They're making one of the roads better.
So what I did was, we had signed up to participate, but as it turned out, we just didn't have manpower or equipment to actually do it. But by virtue of signing up, I was on the email distribution for, the details and where to go when and all that sort of thing. So I asked Civic Fund if I could use that for outreach purposes for agriculture. They said yes. And so I've invited everybody to what I'm calling a farm forum, which will be Wednesday, December
14th.
14th. Thank you. Thank you. Which would be in lieu of our regular ag meeting. It will be at the library. The library is sort of partnering with us on that. And the goal is just to hopefully get some farmers in the room and have some coffee and cookies or something and kind of get to know them and pick their brains about how we can better help them. One main topic is that we've talked for some time now, partly because of the pandemic, about having a open farm day here, which similar to what they do in Granby, and which would be kind of a bigger, better tractor rally, I would think. But we haven't been able to figure out when during the year to have it. The tractor rally used to be at the end of April. The Granby Open Farm Day is the middle of September. That's a busy time. Farmers are always busy, but those are, September, October is a really busy time. I've wondered about maybe the last Saturday in August as a time that's might be a possibility. So that's one question I want to ask some of the local farmers, what would work for you, so we'll see. Hopefully that'll work out when we get together.
Have you gotten any responses, Bert?
Few, not many.
Because I know
Um,
that in the past, and I'm not sure how many, but a lot of the people that are in or have been in the Southwick Farm Parade are not actually located in this town. So I don't know how many people are actually in the parade whose farms or whatnot are actually in Southwick.
Very good point.
I know some were busy farming, they couldn't even make the parade.
Yeah.
I know that Lindsay Hale, who owns Firefight Field, she definitely wants to be involved with us. She basically said, anything we need, just let her know. So I'm gonna invite her.
Awesome, okay. Yeah, I think that's, which is generally the case, we'll need to invite people, kind of
Yeah.
one-on-one, rather than just, I will certainly post things on Facebook and all that, but if you want to get people, you gotta invite them, so,
Some aren't social media bound, so I can knock on doors and some people.
right,
Yeah, and we can go through the brochure too and use the contacts from that.
yeah. Very good. Another good point, Tammy. Thank you.
So when is this? December 14th?
December 14th, Wednesday, it'll be at 6 instead of 7. At the library.
Over here?
Yeah, the Southwick Library, yeah. And, just kind of working out the details.
The
but-
other one.
I wonder if we can,
Oh, you meant the old library?
Meant the
No.
old
No.
wonder if we could put up a flyer online for this and just have people tell their neighbor farmers about it as well. Help us spread the word a little.
Mhm.
If you're a farmer and you'd like to put some input in this, please come.
Yeah,
Do you know if Lynn or Heather did, they do Facebook events too for the library, since we're in conjunction with them, that we could share on our Facebook page too?
yeah. That'd be great, yeah. For the library. Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, I gotta find their webpage. I haven't actually got it up
Channel
yet.
15.
Oh, and channel 15,
Oh,
Gina saying. I never think of that. So I'm glad you did. So. Well,
You could actually put something like this on channel 15 too.
okay, it's third.
we're gonna have to hit them up fast on that one though.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
in the future.
Okay, good, good. Any of our guests have any thoughts about? Talking to farmers and what,
I can definitely spread the word with a few people I know.
Yeah.
Um,
In a sense, we're also trying to just get everyone to meet and greet as well, just so they
Right.
know their fellow farmers.
Right, exactly.
I don't know to what extent farmers talk to each other.
There's your time.
It probably depends on what they're farming.
Yeah. Okay, good.
What about issues they had with the town? Do we know any of that? Do they have any issues with the town doing stuff?
Well,
Pesticides are always a topic.
If you're inviting them, you say, you guys got any issues with the town, we'd like
Yeah.
to hear it.
yeah. I know the only thing that's sort of popping into my mind is Stan Broska at Pumpkin Valley. He didn't like paying the fee for his scales. So now he's retired, so it's kind of not an issue, but
Well, what was the deal with that?
your scales get
Calibrated?
calibrated and inspected every year. Dennis Clark actually is the one who does
Yeah,
it.
right.
And Stan didn't like paying for that. So. Because it's not really a full-time operation, right? So anyway, not to pick on him. And I think too, some of our kind of conventional wisdom here is that farmers don't like the government. And do they think of us as being part of the government? Well, we are a town commission, obviously, but I think I'm trying to make the point that
Trying to look out for them.
yeah, we're on their side.
We're your friends, we swear.
Free snacks always seems to motivate them.
Yeah.
Pizza party.
First, I was thinking of a kind of a happy hour kind of thing.
Yeah.
Forget you're their friend.
Okay. Let's see, so old business, the master plan, committee update, as I mentioned, we're coming up on our 1 year anniversary. We've had, we've had the survey with over 900 responses, which is really good. We had those 2 visioning sessions a couple of weeks ago. And now next steps will be, some focus groups, by topic, so. If you're interested in housing, if you're interested in agriculture, if you're interested in, technology and electric cars and, whatever particular topic you're most interested in, we're going to get people together and have, focus groups for additional input. One question I have is what happens once we have the plan? Technically, all we have to do is have the planning board approve it. I personally don't think that's enough. I'd like it to have a lot more teeth than that and a lot more visibility. Not sure what form that's gonna take, but somewhere along the line, can you Jessica, or Lucas may remember, somebody said we should have the master plan committee should become an ongoing committee.
Implementation committee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that,
Pioneer Valley Planning Committee said that essentially either master plan advisory committee turns into the master plan implementation committee, or there's maybe another committee that's formed down the line to do that.
yeah. So,
I think there should be some life behind it and not just become a document that gets thrown under the rug.
yeah,
After you spend all that money,
money and time, which is a little bit what happened with the open space plan that was done a few years ago, that kind of, who even knows about it anymore? Yeah, Lucas.
I hate to sound like a pessimist, but theoretically, what happens if the planning board doesn't approve it?
we repeat,
Then it's 2000.
yeah.
1997,
1997 all
yeah,
over again.
yeah. And yes. That's what happened in 1997. The planning board didn't approve it. And it just, went nowhere.
I think this time we're also trying to probably focus a little more directly on the topic at hand. And also using that as a reference guide, so they know not to make the same mistakes.
That's why we're also trying to bring in, like, for the focus groups, bring in the other boards and the other committees. That way, when it does get to the point where, okay, we're ready to make a decision on this, everyone should know, like, where we were headed, hopefully, that's the idea anyway. So that it wouldn't be a surprise, down the line, and then everyone doesn't want it. Hopefully.
Let's keep bringing that up, with the committee. Okay, we mentioned briefly, but our work party number 2 at the Sofinowski Preserve is this coming Sunday. Dan mentioned earlier, there are 14 people at the first one, and we're doing that in conjunction with the Conservation Commission. So
We have to let Sabrina know that come
We
early.
had a lot of commissioners in both the agricultural committee and the conservation.
conservation, yeah.
That was great.
It was, yeah, and we actually had more people there, more commissioners than conservation did. So go us. So, and what we've done, just happened at the Conservation Commission meeting this past Monday. They need to approve the work, and so the first time they said, oh, okay, on this day you can do these things. So as of Monday, we've got a kind of a bigger scope of what we're gonna do. And we can convene as many times as we want until we get that amount of work done, so we have much more free hand. We also met with the fire chief about, we wanna, there's a lot of invasive plants there. And, you know, rather than move them to another location, you know, landfill, the transfer station, whatever, and just spread the seeds all over the place, we're gonna burn them. So we talked to the fire chief about that. And he's good with it. So, and the Sofinowski, is technically still agricultural land, even though it's a town-owned preserve. But it's still hayed every year, so it's still considered a farm. So that means, we can do an agricultural burn. This maybe is TMI, sorry if it is, but, and that can be done any time of the year. Residents can burn from January to April, but as a farm, we can do it anytime.
Burn as needed. Burn as needed.
Burn as needed, yeah. We do need to tell the fire department on the day we're doing it. You know, so,
You gotta know where to go. Let's see, and we gotta make sure we get a pump.
yeah,
I guess it's one of the guidelines. You need some kind of water source.
right, to be able to put it out.
At least we have 2 ponds. Not hard to
Yeah.
find water.
Yeah. And again, sorry if it's TMI, but the fire, we can have more than one fire at the same property on the same day. Each fire is only supposed to be the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. So, that's a rule of thumb.
More than one bonfire.
Yeah, apparently a fire can double in size every minute if there's enough fuel. So,
So what's our plan this Sunday? Because we opened up those 2 ponds.
yeah.
That looks so nice.
We're gonna do some more on the big pond, on another shore on the big pond. And then toward the smaller pond off. the
So
side.
which one's big and small? The one closer to the farm is the big one?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And we'll have this kind of drawn out, you know, on the day, but,
So we're gonna open up the edge of it.
yeah. Yeah, like we did kind of on the side, it'll be the kind of the front as you're approaching it, we're gonna work there.
Same kind of thing, keep the trees that are 4 inches or
Yeah.
bigger.
Yeah.
stuff.
And then over by that, we don't know, some kind of a fruit tree, we're not sure if it's an apple or what, but did a lot of pruning there,
Oh,
and there's
yeah.
rocks underneath that, so we're gonna move the rocks. And then some other areas right around there, move rocks and trees so that it can be mowed. Mowed better. Because one thing that's happening over there is that trees are encroaching on the fields, and the mowed area is getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
So, we wanna try to push it back, you know.
Well, it used to all be grass.
Mhm,
Now it's all terrible.
yeah,
Are they the people that hay it?
I think the Solex, hey, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's Solex family.
Mike does it?
Yeah.
Mike does it. They almost all the hay in Western Mass. Well, this area, I know it covers a lot of ground.
Let's see. The meeting format, we talked a little bit about it. There isn't a lot more right now. We wanna. I told the commission last month, I went to a meeting of the Springfield Garden Club recently. And they have a meal. And then they have a business meeting, and then they have a guest speaker. I think it's a little not fair to have the guest speaker hanging around for the meal and the meeting, you know, could not have to have that organization, but I think it'd be great to have people come in and talk to the, you know, promote it, see if we can get some other folks in here. Maybe our next one will be this Hampden County Improvement League. And if anybody has an idea about, you know, somebody in the agricultural community, I'll call it, who, you know, might be an interesting speaker, I'd love to hear it.
I was on the Hampden County Improvement League a couple years ago. I didn't have a ton of time to dedicate to it, and I mean, I would love to dedicate more time to it, but it's just the timing of everything, but they are really, great. They actually do provide grants as well to the community, so. The Westwood Riding Club has applied for that many years. I think we've gotten a grant now 3 years, I want to say, in a row, so they are very, I mean, they're not super active, but they do have one big meeting a year, which I believe is coming up next week. Usually at like Take 5 in a big dinner meeting, and then I don't know a ton of what else they do, but I do know like the grants, and when we first found out about it, they were, no one really knew about the grant, so they were trying to get the word out about that. Those types
And
of
I'm sorry,
things.
who was that?
That was the Hampton County Improvement League,
Oh, okay, oh. Okay.
yeah, so it's still a little bit of.
All right, perfect, okay, good.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I don't know if the couple people that I did know are still on it, but I could find out.
Mhm.
Certainly.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get in touch with them, but if you. If you know some people,
Yeah.
that's all obviously better. Um, Let's see, Marissa's not here, so I'm guessing we probably don't have an update on the signs.
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
Is she making some different ones or the same?
Specific ones for the preserve.
Oh,
For-
cool.
Yeah, for the Sofinowski, because it's, the Sofinowski Preserve is one of the best kept secrets. Nobody really knows it's there, and nobody knows that there's a community garden there. So we want to at least put some signs at the entrances and say,
Turn here.
What about on the end of the street? You
Hmm.
know,
Well, there's actually already a lot of signs on the end of the street. Street signs, I mean. So I don't know if you. can
I'm
already-
talking about off of, what is it, Vining Hill?
Yeah,
Like where you. Cause no one, you go
Yeah.
right by there, you wouldn't know there's a. Preserve down there.
right, right.
It'd actually be nice to lead them down all the way down to where Big Y is.
Right, start there and then
Yeah,
the next sign at, what's the name of that road? Preserve, Mort Vining.
Yeah,
yeah, Mort Vining is the road
Yeah.
that the preserve is on, yeah. Uh,
that would be nice to do.
Yeah.
Just like our right to farm signs. Get one that slowly leads to the other.
Hmm.
Cause me and Ron blew right by there with the truck and the trailer and the tractor before the preserve.
Mhm. Yeah.
I went there every so often, still went by it sometimes.
Yeah. If you're not paying attention, you can zip right through there.
Yeah, right.
But you also have a couple farms right there before it, you just don't feel like it's between them.
Yeah.
Just looking for it, then you're like, oh, it's probably really far down, and then you're like, oh, damn.
Well, I mentioned the open space plan a little earlier. We have been trying to put some focus on that in this commission. It includes a bunch of goals, and one goal is to preserve working farms and forests. So that's why we did this right to farm flyer. Which I'm in the process of sending out. I've been starting to distribute it around to other commissions. Give to the employees at town hall, because I think everybody knows we're a farming community, but I don't think a lot of people know that we are a right to farm community and what that means. And so I want to get that to the real estate agents as well. It's taking me a little longer to do that than I would like, but we'll get there. And then open farm day, we're gonna talk with some farmers in December, hopefully, and get their input on that. Community garden, there isn't really an update. We're pretty much closed for the season, right?
Yeah, we decided we're not gonna
Not gonna till now.
till
Just
in the spring.
in the spring, yeah.
It wasn't a great year for,
Well, it was so dry.
yeah,
So dry that some of our most dedicated gardeners gave up even.
yeah.
Fortunately.
And the water's still working there, all right?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
Good.
yeah, that was.
Cause I remember there was a problem a year ago there.
yeah,
Couldn't get anything.
yeah, that went dry, not actually 2 years ago, because
That's it.
yeah, this year was dry, the year before that was really wet, and the year before that was really dry. And not that third year back is when the well ran dry. We've talked a little bit about youth members on the commission and doing something about, I was gonna say more ag education, but some ag education in the schools. And we've also talked about an AgCom magazine.
Which one first put a web?
But we want to have the new website up and then post it there. We'll probably do some print copies as well, but,
Let's get a presence first before we
Yeah.
spend money on it.
right. So just a couple of FYI tidbits. Veterans Day is Friday. Probably everyone knows there's a parade here in town.
What time is it?
No, that's a good question. I just saw something in the Westfield News about it.
I mean, I gotta work, but it's too
Yeah,
bad. Is it like at noon time or 1 or?
yeah. Any idea?
It's
Jean,
usually
when-
at 10. I
Okay.
think.
I think they pushed it back a little, like, I think it's 10:45, 11 this time.
Huh.
Because I'm in the band, and our band director told us that they had pushed it back a little,
Okay.
so I think it's around 11 or so.
I got for sure.
I got 2 buses taking the band up. I'll let you know what time I scheduled.
Okay, all right, good. And then there's a special town meeting, 6 P.M. Tuesday, November 15th. I believe there's only 2 things on the warrant. I haven't actually seen the posted warrant yet. But one of the things is gonna have to do with building the infrastructure to let other cable companies come in other than Comcast.
Fiber, can't wait.
Fiber, yeah.
I want fiber,
Which I think they're doing in Westfield now.
yes, Whip City.
Yeah, we'll see. Right, so. Anyway. Well,
Please.
that's our agenda, and look at this, only 10 minutes of 8.
Yeah, pretty quick meeting.
And this is actually for visitors. This is generally an hour, a little bit less, every once in a while, I think. Yeah, sure. So goes a little later, but it's generally an hour, so not too bad, not like the planning board that can go 3-4 hours. The master plan.
You jinxed it because last time you said that to me before I joined up.
Yep.
I joined in and then all of a sudden we were having 2 to 5. We had some long weeks.
Oops. Well, that's because of all the good ideas that you had, Sadie.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. If they go long, it's usually a good thing though. It's never a bad thing.
Because we have a lot of stuff going on. So,
We're usually smiling and eating candy. So. By the way, yeah, nice German chocolate up here. You're all welcome to it.
yeah, Sage was in Germany recently, and it's good stuff. So, anybody else have anything for the good of the order? Tammy, any further comments?
No.
Well, then, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Sage seconds. Dan?
Third.
And 7.
Tammy, are you a fourth?
Tammy says aye.
Okay,